she and I both, like, our hopes and dreams is that someday somebody's creating an entirely user generated employer brand. Like, we want to see an employer, like, and I would love to see it as an experiment, because I want to see an employer brand that employees have created the content from start to finish. And maybe it's not like, maybe the framework is like, yeah, employees are like a huge proponent in terms of an input, but the framework is maybe like built out with brand language, but then every activation is user generated. I don't know how it needs to be done, but I'm not the one who's probably going to do it. Um, just because I'm living in the employee experience land right now. But I want to invite and challenge all of you to think about user generated content and think about how you can get your employees engaged in the work. And there are a zillion different ways that you can do that. But like, when we go back to kind of what I was originally talking about, where like we've moved beyond the sales pitch, right? People do not want to be sold to anymore. We have erode Companies have eroded trust with their employees and their candidates over a long period of time, and that has not been healed. And employees and candidates feel that, and
Yeah.
we need to, and one way that we can help to bridge that gap is by instilling trust in our employees telling our story, and by empowering and engaging them to do that. So that's something that, like, that's just like a hope and dream that I know Nicole feels passionately about, and that I do as well, that I would really like to see people like dig into in the future.
And if anyone is wondering, and Abby, you, I think, spoke to your experience and your managing employee experience. So I'm 3 weeks into my new company at Floor and Decor. And if anyone's thinking, okay, if this is your hope and dream, like, why don't you make it happen? I am working on it 100% because, stock photos don't cut it. Those beautiful, like really overly polished videos, like if it's a really cool Nike ad, like maybe. But ultimately, there are thousands of companies that no one's ever heard of. A lot of us probably work for them. And, we're working on brand awareness. And simultaneously, hopefully, we're working on employee engagement because that's such a big part of employer brand. And so the opportunity for Abby, for me, for the people on this call, for people in our industry to make a difference and do things in a way that makes sense and that candidates want is huge.